Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Painted Dog TV. Myself, Gareth, as your guide this afternoon, folks, and we have Basil on camera with us, and we're also joined for the next 3 weeks by a fine young gentleman that goes by the name of Ulrich. He happens to be a relative of the tech genius Wiem, and it's Viem's nephew, everybody, that's come to join us here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve for the next 3 weeks. So welcome, bud. Good to have you with us. Hopefully lots of epic sightings to come for you over the next 3 weeks, and lots of epic sightings for all of us, everybody. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon out here, and our plan for the afternoon is to start at the Predator Boma, which is not too far from us now, everybody. We're going to head up there and go touch base with our amazing, adored pack of wild dogs that we have here, still patiently waiting for the females to be introduced to them. I don't have any recent updates on the females. I believe the genetic testing has been concluded, but I do not know the results yet. Brent is back. Brent and Charles are back tomorrow. They'll be back with us here in town and with us at FC, and we'll have a catch up with Brent tomorrow and find out more about that. But let's pop in there now, folks, and go see if we get lucky enough to see the boys. When you look at the grass around me here, everybody, on either side of the road, it's an overgrown jungle. We've had incredible rain recently, so the grasses are right up at their highest point now. The bush is absolutely thriving at the moment. So if the wild dogs are just sleeping in the middle of the boma, we might not see them, but it's always worth going to have a look. I actually haven't been past the boma in quite some time. I know that the pack did get fed yesterday afternoon, so they should be well fed, but they might still react to the vehicle approaching. They might think there's another meal on its way, but let's go pop in there and see what's happening, everybody. And then from there, what I thought we might do is head to the southeast corner of the Rietspruit Game Reserve this afternoon. I want to go and search for elephants this afternoon, and everything else, of course, but haven't seen elephants in quite some time, and we think that they might be in that corner at the moment. The update on the Pride is that they eventually came to rest on Ndlovu at Hippo Dam, so they're not going to be our side yet. They might be back this side tomorrow. Might go try look for them tomorrow. Just an update there with the Pride, by the way. There's only 5 lionesses sleeping at Hippo Dam. So the lioness that we treated recently, that we topped up with the contraception, is still at large. So she could be anywhere here on this side of the reserve. She is not with her Pride yet. She hasn't reconnected with them yet. And then the male lions are sleeping in the riverbed, the Rietspruit River, quite far north in Leadwood. So I'm not going to head out that way this afternoon, everybody, but very excited to go into a section of the reserve I haven't driven in a while and go see if there's any sign of the elephants. But first things first, as I said, everybody, we'll head to the boma, which is now very close by. I'm just going to quickly touch base with our pack members that have joined on the private YouTube channel. Good afternoon, Carol, Brandy, Mary, Barbara, Elsa, Marcy, Betty, welcome. Hello, Rosemary. Hello, Michael. Who have I missed here? Lots of chats already happening on the channel. That's very good. Very good. Welcome, everybody. Lovely to have you with us. Lovely to share another beautiful afternoon with you here on the Rietspruit Reserve. I believe so, Carol. We do think that all 3 males are on Leadwood. Only 2 were seen lying in the Rietspruit River with massive fat bellies, so they've eaten something substantial overnight. But the reports were that they heard another lion vocalizing on Leadwood as well, whilst they were sitting with the 2 male lions. So their injured brother is probably still playing catch up to them. He's not with them yet, but he'll probably meet up with them again sometime tonight or tomorrow morning, I would imagine. Right, here we go, everybody. Moment of truth, just arriving now at the boma. Yeah, look at the grass in here. It's very tall. Which is actually wonderful for these dogs. You know, it keeps them hidden from everything else that might come walking by here. You probably get a lot less disturbance now with the grasses being so high.
Good afternoon, sir. Looking at mobile on any updates.
Just gone past the water trough here, and the dogs aren't there. Jeez, look at this. It's so beautiful. Completely overgrown, this area here. Just having a look now at basically the racetrack that these dogs created along the fence line here. There is some very fresh scat. You see that there, Basil? Phew. My goodness, does that scat have a smell to it. Whew. Oh, that's very strong. So that's very fresh, everybody. One of the wild dogs has just defecated here along the perimeter fence of the boma. So that's a good sign. They're definitely still in there, or at least one of them is definitely still in there. Been quite a hot day, so they might just be sleeping under one of these bushes, the dogs, just resting, trying to take cover in the shade. Lots of strong smells along the perimeter here, which of course would always attract the attention of other predators. Pretty sure the 2 ginger male lions would have walked past here last night on their patrol. I saw their tracks on Hoofpad earlier as we were driving up towards the boma here. But it doesn't look like they came around the boma. There's no tracks of those male lions on the road here. So they probably just cruised right by last night. Hi Shannon, lovely to have you with us. Glad you got onto the right chat. We're just busy circling the predator boma. We're looking for the wild dogs. And we have clear evidence that they're still in there. We found some very stinky, fresh scat on the northern side of the boma, up against the fence. There's definitely tracks along the fence of them here, obviously still inside. But I think these dogs are sleeping in the thickets, in the shade right now. It's been a hot day. And judging by how thick that scat was, still quite full. They're still digesting the meal they had yesterday. Often pick them up in this corner here that we're approaching now. Also, you always know when the dogs are well fed because they don't come running to the vehicle that's driving around the boma when they're full. When they're hungry, they'll come running up to the fence to come and see if you've brought an impala or a warthog with you. They are not playing ball, everybody. Pity. Pity for us that we didn't get to see them. Obviously fat and happy and sleeping in the center of the boma, looking for cover in the shade of one of those little thickets. But always good to make sure that it's intact, that they know you're okay. Pop the back, everybody. Andrew is aware that we are right now. I'm not sure why. But we'll move out of this area and hopefully it'll improve. Marcy, to answer your question about the feeding schedule, it's usually every 3 days, 3 or 4 days, they'll be brought in to feed. And one of the owners is in charge of feeding the pack. They out and shoot $1 or $2 a week. So yeah, if they were fed yesterday, might feed them again either Tuesday or Wednesday this coming week. Alright everybody, gonna now shift our focus to the Rietspruit Reserve here and slowly our way down towards Sekwe Dam, one of the most beautiful dams here, one of the most beautiful water holes here on the reserve. As I mentioned, it's been quite a hot day, so I'm hoping to maybe pick up sign of the elephants. In an area that I haven't worked in. Get down there. No visual of the pack at the boma. I'm leaving it unattended. That's not something you see every day. The guinea fowl that was lying flat on the ground in the grass here. There it goes, running down the road here. That guinea fowl was hiding from us. Look at him running down the road there. That's very odd behavior. I've never seen that from a guinea fowl. Just glanced to my right and spotted this bird, like I say, lying flat down in the long grass next to the road's edge. As I pointed it out, it obviously got spooked and ran off. It's also not often you find a guinea fowl on its own. They're birds that live in flocks, family groups. Very interesting. Maybe it's a bit anxious, a bit nervous because it's on its own. Is that a giraffe in the distance along the road there? Gappy.
Any station on the pride.
Oh, what a view, everybody. Beautiful giraffe. I think it's a female. Just busy watching this giraffe, everybody. Seems intrigued by something. It's not feeding. Busy watching something down there. Giraffe generally are very inquisitive animals and will watch any animal that's walking nearby, sometimes for long periods of time, you know, an impala, a bird, a mongoose, whatever it may be. They're intrigued by the movement. But it's definitely not the type of staring you associate with when they've seen a predator. You can see now he or she is quite relaxed. If it were a predator, that giraffe would be standing dead still and completely locked on to the predator. But yeah, just look at that view. Basil, if you zoom out a little bit, look at the view from here, everybody. The rolling valleys of the Rietspruit Game Reserve and all of the greenery. Just so beautiful, so lush. elephant tracks, everybody. The herd as well. You can tell it's the herd by the size of the tracks and also the different number of tracks. Relatively fresh. I don't think from this afternoon, but they crossed through here. You see the last track over here, one of the cows that walked across here. So they are going south, which is a good sign, everybody. I do suspect they must be down here, possibly at Sekwe Dam, the waterhole we're heading to. We'll just take the next road that cuts down to the south here and see if there's any signs of them. They very often will cut through this block and then walk across this next road towards the dam. But that's always positive, finding some fresh tracks, relatively fresh tracks. Doesn't look like anybody's driven down here in a very long time either. Certainly not since the previous rain. Some hyena tracks here from during the rain. And there the elephant tracks, as we'd hoped. Although these tracks look older than the ones we've found before. Just quickly have a closer look. This actually looks like one of the bulls. A much larger track, everybody. But yeah, not very fresh. Maybe from yesterday morning would be my guess, judging by the activity of insects and birds that have walked over the elephant's tracks, a number of ant lions that have made their traps in the center of these elephants' prints. But yeah, one of the bulls obviously trailing the herd, and it's a big track, so I suspect it might be the larger bull has walked down here as well. They love this area though. We know that they spend a lot of time down here. It's really good grazing and browsing in this area, and then of course a huge amount of water at this large water hole. sometimes will camp out in this area for weeks on end. Black-headed oriole calling here. That beautiful liquid call. There's tracks all over the place here of elephant, everybody, but nothing fresh, nothing from today. We are getting a lot closer now to the water. Let's actually just quickly go check the riverbed here. This riverbed feeds the waterhole I keep talking about. I'm sure it's probably got a lot of water in it right now. I'm just going to quickly go look down here on the edge of the river to see if there's any tracks here. But it is a bit of a dead end here, so we'll have to turn back and come along that road, which will take us to the dam. Oh dear, I did forget my cell phone on the bonnet. That would have been a disaster.
Going mobile on Kaya. Are there any updates this afternoon?
Hi Joel, there's a huge on the Kaya. There's kind of part of it there. It's been a lot.
Yeah, there is a ton of water in the river, guys. Look at this. incredible. From all the recent rain, you used to be able to cross the river here, of course, but that's definitely not going to be a good idea today. No tracks of the elephants here. But what a beautiful area. Yeah, no, they didn't come down here, the Ellies. Let's go have a look at the dam. Marcy, to answer your questions, yes, I have seen an elephant. I actually haven't seen a birth, but I've been there on 2 occasions, probably within about 10 or 15 minutes of a birth. And often when the cow is actually giving birth, there's quite a lot of trumpeting. The whole herd actually gets quite worked up. She obviously experiences quite a lot of pain while she's giving birth to her calf, and she will sometimes trumpet as well while she's doing it. So I've been lucky enough to have heard those sounds and reacted and got there soon enough, and then found, you know, these elephants all huddled around a newly born calf, which is still, you know, lying down, covered in blood. You can still see the placenta. And we've then, myself and my guests, been fortunate enough to then stay and witness, like I say, the amazing interaction between the herd and the mother and their little calf. They all come and touch it and smell it and greet it, and eventually the little thing finds its legs and starts to sort of stand up with mom. But it takes a couple of hours before that newborn elephant can actually start walking away. I'm just going to pack a bit of rock here, everybody, because it's quite a nasty dip here. Let's make sure there's not a leopard waiting for me. should be a bit more manageable. And then Marcy, getting back to your other question about crocs and alligators, yes, there are crocodiles on the Rietspruit Game Reserve, although not many. We've actually had to reintroduce them, and the last batch of young crocodiles that were released onto the reserve, most of them actually escaped the reserve and went downstream through our rivers onto, well, out of the reserve and then into the Blader River. Interesting. I'm just listening to Kevin, everybody, who's just got out on drive, and he's saying on the radio he's looked at the telemetry of the collar that's around the large bull's neck, and that bull has just pinged here behind us near the big airstrip at Boskamp. So whether he's with the herd or not, I'm not sure. But let's first check this beautiful waterhole, everybody, see if we don't have any signs of elephant here. Otherwise, then we know we can head back up towards the airstrip, and we might find the bull feeding in that area. Apparently he pinged around midday today though, so quite a few hours ago now, around 12:30 our time, he pinged on the northern end of the airstrip there. But as we know, he's not always with the herd, so maybe the herd's still this part of the reserve. Good afternoon, Di. Good to have you with us. You've missed, you haven't missed a leopard. You definitely haven't missed a leopard. You've missed an attempt at seeing the wild dogs in the boma. There was no luck there. We had a lovely sighting of a giraffe and a very, very nervous guinea fowl, and we're currently looking for the elephants here in the southeastern part of the reserve, just now approaching Rietspruit Dam, one of my favourite waterholes down here. Beautiful view. We're just about to come out onto the dam wall. Just have a look, enjoy this beautiful scene for a couple of minutes, see if there's any sign of the elephants, listen for the elephants as well. I did have tracks of the herd coming down this way, and then the bull has been reported pinging around midday, a bit further north of us near the airstrip. Just look at this. That is full. Phew. Absolutely stunning. What a spot. You can see why the elephants come down here, everybody, why they love this waterhole. It's a very deep waterhole. They can actually swim in it, completely submerge themselves in this dam, Rietspruit Dam. And what a beautiful place it is. What an incredible view around this waterhole. So like I was saying earlier, everybody, I just want to sit here for 5 minutes, enjoy this, see what birds we might pick up, but at the same time just listen out for the elephant herd. Another little grebe, Basil. See that's out there, you see where the grass is in the water? He's moving towards the grass. Little grebe. Love watching them dive under like that. certainly are signs of the elephants having been here recently. From your position, Basil, can you see the disturbed soil here? Maybe the wrong angle. You got it? No. The elephants walked along the bank here, everybody. Quite recently. Last sort of day or two. Actually looks like it might be one of the bulls that walked along here. Yeah, I was really hoping we might get them. Not hearing any feeding, everybody, not hearing the distinctive breaking of branches or trumpeting. So perhaps the herd is with the bull, or rather the bull is with the herd. They might all be up there near the airstrip. So we're going to head up there next, everybody. You can just hear a vehicle approaching us here now. Very good question, Michael. I'm going to get back to you on that one shortly. Hello, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, and you?
Yeah, good.
Awesome, man.
No elephants here then?
No.
Okay.
There were tracks of the herd crossing Rietspruit, just east of Boskamp, going south.
Yeah.
So I thought the herd might be somewhere down here. I know the bulls obviously pinged up near the airstrip. I'm going to go check up near the airstrip and see if the herd didn't go that way as well. But I haven't checked anything south of Leopard.
Okay, cool. I'm going to carry on south then, I think.
Super.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Nice to see you guys.
And you.
Enjoy your afternoon.
We will.
Fantastic. Yeah, exactly, Carol. The elephants are having a field day down here on a regular basis. There's clear evidence of them around this waterhole repeatedly. So Chris has just driven past us, everybody. He's out with his family. He's going to search south of the river. He'll let me know if he finds anything down here. But like I say, folks, we're gonna head north from here, go back up towards where the bull is. I think that might be the best bet. Those tracks that we saw of the herd crossing the road, the first signs we found this afternoon weren't from this afternoon, maybe last night. So maybe the herd was here yesterday evening, possibly even this morning, but then ventured further to the north. So we're going to do the same thing. Let's go north, everybody. But love it down. So the camera was set to take still images rather than video. That was the first fail. How's it now, Andrew? Everything seems to be plugged in, so I don't know what's happening with the mic. Okay, copy. So just going back to the chat about the camera trap, everybody. Unfortunately, not a very successful week on that camera trap. We'd set the camera up incorrectly. It was set to take photographs rather than videos. And we got about 7,000 images of a branch that kept waving in front of the camera. So I tried to clear it as best as I can when I set up the camera, But I think something it looks like a new shoot of a plant that's grown out in front of that camera, and the camera just kept picking up this branch, unfortunately. So lots of beautiful photographs, blurry photographs of a new branch growing there. We did capture one white rhino bull, however. Certainly not the most exciting photographs of him though, just like half his face cut off walking past the camera. But that's it, that's all we got. So we've charged up the batteries, we've put the settings onto video, and I didn't bring the camera trap out with me this afternoon because I knew I wasn't going to be heading into that area this afternoon. But we'll probably go set up the camera trap again in that area sometime tomorrow, everybody. Hey, look at this here, you can see here, again, recent activity. Elephants were feeding here on this large fruited bush willow. So watch yourselves here, gentlemen. Now you can see the elephant tracks there of the bull. You can also see where he's dropped some grass while he's feeding. So I picked up some grass and dropped it while he was feeding. Yeah, I was actually looks like both bulls walked up here today. Look at the size of that track in comparison to my foot. Massive. Right, let's head up towards the airstrip. Red-crested coron calling here to our left, the suicide bird. It's going to be tough to see him in this long grass. Yeah, exactly, Carol. you and I have both been dealing with. Oh, good spot, Basil. Just had a brief sighting of a dark chanting goshawk there, everybody. Good spot, Basil. Sorry, I had my head down reading the comments. But yeah, the grass and the plants have disturbed our camera traps, that's for sure. But it's okay, we'll just go again. We'll keep trying. We know there's an abundance of activity of leopard in that area, so, and not just leopard, everything. Rhino, lion, hyena. So very keen to go back and set up that camera there again. No, Marcy, I haven't seen any golden orb spiders, but that's quite normal. Some seasons you won't see them. Some seasons they're dormant. Kind of like the cicadas. Some years you'll get them and then their life cycle, a couple of years you don't see them and then they pop up again. It's the same with the golden orb spiders. Thought I saw something moving into the road up ahead here. Something small, but I don't see anything. Ow. And then Marcy, to answer your question about the suicide bird, he gets that nickname because of his incredible display that he does to attract a mate and also chase off any competition. So he starts calling, like we heard earlier, that very high-pitched call. And that's to get everybody's attention. And then after the call, he flies up above the canopy of the trees, just 30-40 yards above the trees, and then tucks his wings in and falls back down to earth, literally like he's been shot out of the sky. And just before he hits the ground, he'll open his wings again and land on the ground. So that's where they get that that nickname, the suicide bird. We are very close now, everybody, to the most northern end of the airstrip here close to Boskamp. So we just need to keep a close lookout here again for any signs of these elephants.
They're in the river just near the fence in Rietspruit. Okay, close to the tunnel. Yeah, north of the tunnel now. They were at the tunnel earlier, but they're not through it. Okay, copy that, thank you. See what that's here in drainage line. I've just been to walk in here, I don't see his tracks, so. Okay.
Just listening to Kevin there. He's busy trying to track down the injured male lion, also on Leadwood, as mentioned earlier, everybody. He heard that male lion vocalizing on Leadwood this morning, but he hasn't managed to find him yet. Right, so just coming out onto the airstrip here, everybody, and it's literally right at this point where that big elephant bull pinged around midday today. But that's, you know, we're approaching almost 6 hours ago from the last ping. So I don't suspect he's going to still be feeding in this area. We'll just switch off, however, for a minute or two, enjoy again another beautiful view, and just listen to see if we don't hear any other elephants feeding. Judging by the movements of the elephants, I think that they've gone further north from this point, everybody. So we're going to go north up Hoofpad, which takes us up towards Lowveld of South Africa. Maybe that's where they're going to be swimming this afternoon. They might also be venturing back towards Kaya. But we'll just look to see if we find any tracks up this way. Not seeing anything here, but he was definitely feeding here at lunchtime. Certainly is a beautiful view there, Betty. Absolutely love the view of the Drakensberg from that point. Really good area for cheetah as well now, everyone, that we've come into here. Both female cheetahs often come into this area. We know, of course, the last sighting of the young female with her 2 cubs was on Leadwood. That's now about 4 days ago. But the other one, Mabai, with her older cub, certainly hangs out in this area from time to time. Looks like some recent activity of a zebra that was rolling there, everybody. Okay, so no tracks of this elephant bull coming out here. So if he is going north, he's doing that to the east of Hoofpad. So between us, where we are here, and the eastern fence of the reserve. Now the next road that cuts across this one here is the one we'll take. Runs straight down to the eastern fence line. and we'll probably find his tracks crossing this road now, everybody. If not, then he is still feeding close to where he pinged this morning, or rather midday. Some tracks back there I just want to quickly have a look at. Might be rhino. Indeed. Some old white rhino tracks coming this way. Just busy listening to some southern white-crowned shrikes that are calling here, everybody. They've flown away from us a couple times. Can you see them there, Basil?
Yeah.
See if you can get them. They can be quite shy, so I don't want to go any closer. I love the call of this bird, and also a really pretty one as well. Southern white-crowned shrike, everybody. I love the contrast of the black and white on their heads. Cooperative breeders, so they live in family flocks where the previous clutch will help raise the following season's clutch. And will spend a couple of years with their parents before they then separate themselves from the family group and go off and start breeding themselves. You see there's two of them there. But you'll sometimes see flocks of up to 10 birds in a family group. Marcy, to answer your question, the difference between black and white rhino tracks, the black rhino is much smaller than the white rhino. Also, the toes are more closely wedged together on a black rhino's track. And also the heel of a black rhino's track is different because it's almost flat or rounded at the back end of its track versus a white rhino which has a clear distinctive W shape. It's got a big indent in the middle of its heel, the white rhino. You can hear baboons alarm calling ahead of us here. heard one bark. Oh. You can hear these white-crowned sharks every now and then, hey folks.
Approaching on the clerical crossing, can I approach?
Beautiful call. Still not hearing elephants and still haven't seen tracks. Rhino tracks, white rhino tracks there, everybody. Not particularly fresh. You can see the little dove tracks walking through this rhino track here. You see that there, Basil? Yeah. The closest track to you. You see the little bird tracks on top of the rhino tracks there, everybody? That's a dove, probably an emerald spotted wood dove that's walked over the rhino's track there. So it's been a little while yet since the rhino walked here, and then clear evidence of a dove that later on came and walked over the rhino's tracks.
Let's close it down. Returning the male lines in about 3 minutes. Sorry, last option. Where's the location of the male line? Copy that, thank you.
Just about to get to the fence now, everybody. Haven't seen any tracks of this elephant bull. So probably feeding closer to the point where he pinged around midday. Just quickly look along the fence here and see if we don't see them or see any signs here. Just poking my head over the ridge back here, guys, just to see if the elephants went down in the next dip, the next valley. But they aren't. And I don't see any tracks of them here either. So we are going back. We'll take a different road. Comes off this prominent road here and runs back south towards the last point that we checked earlier. Just see if we don't get lucky down here, guys. How beautiful is that sunset coming into play right now. It's a gorgeous day, Michael. It really is. I'm just loving the temperatures at the moment as well. It's not been too hot. Fortunately, thanks to this cold front that came through. So the next road that I'm going to take that goes a bit further south here, everyone, is called Aardvark Road. Maybe we're going to see an aardvark and an elephant this afternoon.
I don't look with a 3 rhino and a young one on Poole North.
Shannon, yeah, we might have a Dumbo situation here. All good though. It's brought us to a part of the reserve we haven't explored a lot, certainly not recently. Look at this beautiful clearing here. Perfect for the female cheetah to come and rest in the middle of the day here. So pretty. Haven't heard anything from Chris.
Our line is now heading up to west towards the gate.
Haven't heard anything from Chris, who passed us earlier when we were at Sekoi Dam. He was going to be searching the most southern reaches of the property. No signs of elephant that he's found down there. So I'm starting to think more and more that the herd might be in this area here with the bull as well. Yes, indeed, Betty. It is amazing how elephants can disappear, especially at this time of the year, in the middle of summer. The bush is just so thick. And you'd be amazed at how well an elephant actually blends in. And of course, if they're just feeding on grass, if they're not targeting the trees, when you're nearby to them, you're not going to hear them either. They're very quiet. Amount of times I've been walking around on foot in the bush and been surprised by literally a herd of 30, 40 elephants that just come walking straight toward me or close by to me, and I hadn't had a single inclination that they were in the area. Quite scary, actually. Of course, you don't want to be on foot too close to elephants and letting them know that you're there, because they'll be quite aggressive towards human beings on foot. Well, there's some areas in Africa where you can view elephants on foot at pretty close proximity that become quite habituated to the presence of man. The little bird at the top of the dead tree there, Basil. Looks like a rattling cisticola. Certainly sounds like a rattling cisticola. Yeah. That's him. Very chatty little bird, the rattling cisticola. They are one of my favorite birds. Very common, very abundant out here. You see them everywhere. Well, they got some serious spunk, these cisticolas. Lots of attitude. Very territorial. They often lead us to predators as well, because they'll go absolutely crazy if they've spotted a predator, and with their very high-pitched, shrill alarm call, they'll sometimes lead you straight to a predator. Beautiful. Lovely stuff. Very pretty little bird. With a very pretty call. Red-billed oxpeckers that have just flown overhead, just gone past us here. They may have just come off an animal in this area here. Usually at this time of the day, it's often when the oxpeckers will leave the backs of a giraffe or a rhino and head for their nests or head for their roost. So it could potentially be a giraffe or a rhino somewhere nearby. Another one.
And here it is on the drive, close to the road.
Certainly a Dumbo moment here, everybody. We've now circled back all the way back to the point of where he last pinged, which was just here on our left, this block of land here on our left. And I haven't found any further sign. No tracks or done. Can't hear them, can't hear him. It's done a disappearing act, this elephant bull. Work our way along the airstrip towards Boskamp here, everybody, and maybe head towards Leopard Dam. See who's in that area for the last bit of the drive tonight. Here's that amazing view again, everybody. My goodness. A bird of prey was sitting in this tree right here next to the road. I hadn't spotted it. Looked like a steppe buzzard. See him there?
Yeah.
See that tree there? It's just sitting there. Yeah, look at that, everybody. Steppe buzzard. What a treat. Another one of our summer visitors. Incredible bird of prey, this. Both predator and scavenger. They eat a variety of different prey in this area. Rodents, birds and reptiles. But then will also pick up carrion wherever they can. Amazing how well camouflaged that bird is, especially with its back to us. With the colours of the tree that he's sitting in and the surrounding foliage. When he sits dead still, he almost looks like he's part of the tree. Quite remarkable. Really chuffed that he didn't fly off completely and that he stuck around for you all. Definitely watching us. Look at that. Yeah, that's awesome. Good work there, Basil. You probably find that this buzzard is done for the day. I mean, it'll obviously go for something while there's still a little bit of light left in the day. The tree that he was initially sitting in was right next to the road. So he'll sit there, dead still, relying on that camouflage, and be waiting patiently. Mostly for the rodents that will start getting active, particularly now at dusk. The last bit of light of the day is when the gerbils and field mice start getting active. That's something that he'll target on the road. You often find a lot of birds will do that. They'll sit perched for hours hawking the road. It's so much easier for them to spot the prey with these man-made roads now, as their prey eventually will scurry across the road at some point. The spotted eagle owl does the same thing at night. Often sits in the trees adjacent to the road, waiting to pick up on rodents, scrub hares, moving along the road. You can see the way he's cocking his head like that he is still searching, still scanning the ground for movement. Awesome. Let's leave him be. Female leopard tracks here, everybody. It's twice now in the last month I've seen signs of a leopard here close to Boskamp. A female leopard, that is. You can just faintly see over her tracks here a beetle. See how the beetle's tracks continue that direction. The beetle looped around here and walked over her tracks. I would say that these leopard tracks are from sometime this morning, maybe even last night. Yeah, they're not from this evening, sadly. Incredible though how much leopard activity I've discovered in the last 2 weeks, the start of this year. Of course, had an amazing sighting of that young male leopard not too long ago up in a tree. These tracks are not fresh enough for us to really follow right now, everybody. I would guess that this is probably either the mother of the 2 kudu krip females or the 4-3 female, one of her daughters that walked up here. Now everybody, and there's quite a few birds and other beetles that have walked over her tracks today. So probably last night, early this morning, she walked up here past Boskamp. Might have even had a drink at the waterhole in front of the camp there. Sorry everybody, I don't know what happened to my YouTube channel there. It had frozen, so I'm only now just getting all of your comments coming through. I'll start working through them now. Rosemary, I certainly do live and work in paradise. Just love this place. Wouldn't give it up for anything. Shannon, I see you asked where they're from. I assume you're referring to the steppe buzzard. They're just inter-African migrants, so they go north of the equator during our winter months. Yes, Carol, it is the common buzzard. Sorry, didn't mean to confuse anybody. I still call it the steppe buzzard. I always forget to change the name on that one. Good afternoon, or good evening, Velma. Lovely to have you with us. It's been a beautiful evening.
Hi there. Could I ask you
Been searching for the elephants, haven't had any joy with them. Have had some beautiful views of the waterholes, the mountains, some great bird sightings as well. about to come out at a point on the road here, everybody, where there is the most ridiculous view of the Drakensberg Mountains and the gorgeous sunset this evening, although most of the sunset has ended. Look at that amazing view of the Blader Canyon. Copy. That view certainly never gets older. Alright, everybody. One last stop before we wrap up tonight's drive. Quickly go pop into Kudu Krip. See if anybody's having a sundowner there. Their last drink for the day. Nobody here yet. Hello everybody. So quiet. Wonderful listening to these emerald spotted wood doves just settling in for the night.
Leaving the lock of the cheetah in attendance.
What a gorgeous day. Some darkness brewing in front of me there to the south. There is more rain predicted this week. That might be the start of something coming our way. This is where we had that wonderful sighting of the two spotted hyena, everybody, along this road here. I keep coming back to this area, I keep getting drawn to this area, hoping to see them again, but also just hoping to find signs, more fresh signs of these hyena in this area. Came along here this morning, didn't have any tracks. Also where we had the epic sighting of the young black rhino bull. It was just along here a couple of weeks ago. Impala up here to our left. Checking us out. Hello, Impala. Oh, Shannon, it's our absolute pleasure. We love connecting you and everybody to this incredible natural wonder that we have out here. We are the privileged ones that get to live and work here, and we are certainly very grateful for it. We never take it for granted. There's nothing quite like it, being out here in the bush. Never gets old for me. I'm always excited every time I come out here on one of these drives with you all. One last thing before I go, everybody, is I just wanted to share the word of the week with you, everybody. For those of you who are interested in getting your hands on one of those high-resolution images this week, the word that we've picked for the week is katydid. So that's the word of the week, everybody. Remember that one, send it through to us. Katydid. But thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Hope you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening wherever you are in the world. And I'll be back out here again tomorrow afternoon with some of you. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks, everybody. See you soon. Keep well.